Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my showcase of my configuration dry run. This is a new feature I added to the config manager, released in version 4.1.0. This allows you to test all your configurations in-house without having to leave the config manager. So as before, you'd set your configs and then run the main script and then find the text file, and then if it was wrong, you had to go back to the config manager and all yada yada. But now you can do all of that without leaving the config manager. So let's get into it. Here I have my PowerShell terminal and my Active Directory side by side. So let's get our configuration manager up and running. You see option 4 now is the config dry run. So I haven't set any configs yet, so let's just see what that looks like. Default. Of course, we haven't set our output save path yet, so this is a requirement. It's going to show up red. Hey, this needs to be set. Our disabled users OU path isn't necessarily a requirement, but if you have a disabled users OU, it's highly recommended to put this in here. It'll show up as yellow and say, hey, if you don't put this here, I mean, it'll just disable those features from the main script, but still recommended to set if you have one. And of course, debug mode is enabled. That'll confirm that for us there. And then under that, we have our inactivity parameters. This is how many days we'll deem a user inactive. So we have our general 60 days of inactivity. We'll deem a user inactive, as well as our, if a user's never logged in before, they'll have 5 days. And if a user was re-enabled, haven't logged in since, they have another 5 days. So that's that. Next would be testing the matching configurations. This will actually search through AD for every enabled user, regardless of if they're inactive or not. This is just a test to make sure every single user will be matched to group or OU. So let's press enter and see how that works. So everyone's unmatched right now. We haven't set a single configuration, so of course it's going to be unmatched. So let's get into setting the configurations. First, we'll save our files, just a temp, why not? And then search for our disabled OU. We have it right here, it's called disabled. So we'll search Active Directory, find that, and we'll set days since created and days since enabled to 0, since some of these accounts are created or enabled for this demonstration or recently. So just to make sure we get everyone we want to see, we'll set that like that. All right. And let's see who we want to only note as inactive. So these are the users that will never be disabled. For this instance, we're going to want to add our service accounts and our admins to this. But for now, let's just add our service accounts and see what it looks like when we might miss something. And then we'll just add our domain users, aka our standard users, to our disable matching criteria. Standard users. Alright, so now we've set our configurations. Let's see what it looks like when we run it again. So we have our output save path here, our disabled OU, and our configs we changed for our inactivity parameters. So everything's looking good. Next. Okay, let's see what we have here. We have our service accounts, our Splunk and Nessus accounts. So if we go to service accounts, you see both of those there, and our standard users and our domain users OU. We have 4 of them and 4 of them here. So everything's matching good, except of course we forgot our admins and this enabled user. I wonder where he's at. He's actually in our disabled OU. So let's move him back to domain users here and try again. So let's go back to our note inactive and we'll add our admins. Cool. Run it again. And now we have no users unmatched. So this is exactly what we're looking for. We want to make sure that every user will be under the purview of this script. So now that that's working good, we have no errors anymore, no warnings. We can test it out on the main script. All right. Looks like we ran good, no errors. Let's get our file here. Let's actually get this side by side with the config manager, and I can show you how it works. So we have our standard users here, our enabled users now categorized that we moved it back. So standard user, 5 of them here, 5 of them there. And then we have our accounts down here. So there's only 3, but we have 5 over here, right? So Splunk, this service account's always logged in every time I boot up this machine, and ZZ is actually the account I'm on. So these 2 are not inactive. So we have our 3 other accounts that have not been logged in for so long, or haven't been logged in at all actually. So only 2 of these accounts have been logged in. But yeah, so it looks like it worked exactly how we planned it to work. So hopefully this streamlines these configuration changes much better. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. You can reach out to me on my email. Any features you'd like to see added, any headaches that you get from trying to set this up, let me know. But yeah, besides that, I'll see y'all around. Adios.